Okay, so hope that video gets you a little bit excited like it does me. It might look a little far-fetched and like a little bit Black Mirror-esque, but the amazing truth around it is that technology now exists that's going to allow us to interact with our clothing in a way like never before. That video kind of sets the scene, I think, for the industry and as well for what we're doing at Prevail, into a world essentially where connected clothing connects everything, where clothing and fashion really will be an extension of your personality and used to increase your health and performance as you move forward. So I'm Adam, I'm the CEO and founder of Prevail. I founded Prevail back at the start of the year. I've always been obsessed really with health and performance and essentially how data is used to improve health and performance. And then beyond there, where can we take this data from and what can we do with this data to help improve our lives? I initially set out essentially to develop a range of clothing that could read more information and take more biometric data off the body than anything else in the market, and then essentially use this information and give you incredible insights into health and your life. So what we're doing at Prevail, we are quite simply set out to improve humanity through responsible technology. What we're doing is creating the world's most advanced health tech ecosystem, so a platform through our connected clothing that can take all this information off the body, process it, and then use to give to the audience and to the user predictive insights into their health and performance and even emotional states. The technology that we've created is used to enable brands so they can fit into brands' manufacturing process and scale and transcend multiple industries. Our mission is to provide the capability to improve the health and performance of essentially millions of people across the globe. So, as I said, our tech can fit into multiple clothes like uniforms, race suits, nightgowns, anything you want to use it in. With this in mind, we plan to enable multiple industries, fashion industries, so we can be used to improve customer loyalty and provide brands with new experiences to their customers. Fitness, first and foremost as well. The applications are absolutely huge. So in terms of looking at marginal gains, how we use information and data from the body to improve performance, it's incredible what we can do. Defence organisations as well, never leaving a man behind, knowing who are your top responders and best stress responders at any one time. Part of the vision when we founded Prevail was essentially to utilise biometric readings from all 7 biosignal categories of the body. So essentially mean that we can take more information from the body and give the most holistic viewpoint into a human that's ever been collated. Again, we want to be proactive and predictive towards healthcare and performance. So all healthcare currently within wearable tech is all pretty much reactive. So you can go for an activity, you can have a condition, and then look after that at what's happened to your healthcare. So we want to know ahead of time if you're about to suffer a heart condition or you're approaching diabetes, or we want to know if you're running a marathon. We want to know 10 minutes ahead of time if you're about to run into that wall and ruin your race. What else we're doing? We're trying to stay at the forefront of innovation with sensor tech and smart textiles. So we work with sustainable materials such as graphene and work on miniaturizing sensors. So essentially we create clothing where every fibre is alive. So our ecosystem, as we've created so far, consists of garment technology, as I'm wearing today. We've created ranges of leggings, t-shirts, an athleisure range to start with, but essentially what we can read from our garment technology already is motion capture, so we can use that for movement analysis and biomechanics, ECG, where we can get breathing rate and ECG from, SEMG, so we can look at what muscles are contracting in your body in real time and why. So for prescribing the perfect workout every time, it's pretty cool to do. Temperature, we can measure your skin body temperature, your core body temperature. So again, if you're approaching an illness and your temperature's starting to change, we'll know ahead of time and you can intervene fast. We take all this information from our garments, process it in real time, which is the big difference. We analyse all this data on the fly into our cloud platform, where we apply lots of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And with that, we can give look at behavioural and emotional insights, and look at performance indicators as well, essentially allowing people to take healthcare into their own hands. And then again, what really separates where the industry is going and what we're doing at Prevail is trying to show it's good enough having all this data and information, but how do we use this and how do we interact with this information as well? So data's nothing unless you can make sense of it, really. So what we're trying to do, and what the industry is doing is looking at creating an immersive reality, like someone spoke about before this morning with smart mirrors and how you look at your information. We're using like virtual reality, we're using augmented reality. So for example, with the clothing that we're wearing now, we can hold screens over and superimpose muscle groups, organs, so for fitness, and you could be training, you could prescribe the perfect workout every time, you can ask to do a movement, see what muscle groups are firing and when, and advise techniques based on that. Beyond that, again, when you're moving around in your home, you can just speak to your clothing essentially, like I tried to show a minute ago with Alexa. So we have brand principles that Prevail, and essentially, as I said before, this is where the industry is going, miniaturising sensors and ingraining them into the fabrics of your clothes. So essentially, all clothing will all be connected in around the next 5 years. So essentially, what we want to try and do is take the decision process out of wearable tech. So instead of having to click on a plastic clunky device or wear a watch and charge it up, we can just take clothes out of your wardrobe day in, day out, like you're wearing right now, and use it to monitor your healthcare and use to improve your life. So in terms of what we've created at Prevail already, this is kind of the mock-up. Well, this is the live dashboard that we can have working at Prevail HQ. Already, with the metrics that we can take off the body for our version 1 product that's pretty much ready, we can look into performance indicators. So when wearing new clothing, we can look at performance indicators. So how alert is the user, how fatigued is the user. Beyond that, we can see live ECG readings. For fitness reasons, we can look at heart rate zones. So in terms of prescribing an athlete or your own workout, we can keep you in the relevant zones and you could interact with this information. We can look at, with the metrics that we can receive, emotional states. So how relaxed is someone, how stressed, how anxious is someone, and try and prescribe and intervene to stay on top of yourself. Vital signs, core temperature, skin temperature. We can look at various other algorithms as well that we can look ahead of time. So again, how do we interact with our clothing? This is where we really see the industry going. No longer will you just see a flat, plain like screen with 2D data. I think we see the industry going the way that you want to interact with and participate in your own healthcare and your own health information. So the use of augmented reality, like I say, looking at muscle groups working, your heart rate and ECG, how that's working. Virtual reality, natural language processing. So essentially, we just want to be immersed in our own healthcare data. So real life applications of connected clothing and where the industry is going. For performance, like first responders, making sure the optimum responder is there at the right time, making sure they've slept well and hydrated. Healthcare, lifestyle, and then insights into loved ones. So monitoring your children, monitoring the elderly as well. Data is absolutely huge. We get asked about this a lot because obviously we're handling a large amount of data. The idea with Prevail is that essentially all data is anonymous and the users own their own data. Market is absolutely huge for wearables. 2025, the wearable technology market is worth 57 billion, and that the World Economic Forum forecasts that 10% of all clothing will be connected to the internet by 2025. Also, mobile health apps, 318,000 mobile health apps by 2018 as well. We plan to, with our enabling technology, to onboard brands to use this technology and to supply to their own audiences. We have two methods of doing this. One is we're creating our own white label clothing that brands can adopt and give to their audiences, and two, we have an integration methodology that brands can come to us. We're working with a couple of global fashion houses currently on providing this technology to them, for them to give insights into their audience also. And eventually we see a world where a whole wardrobe will be Prevail enabled. Connected clothing, essentially connect everything and used to enhance your own healthcare and put healthcare into your own hands.